Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a few weeks since I've put out a video, been quite busy with work and things like that, so today I wanted to put out a tier list video, just something quick and simple, and give my opinion on all of the heroes that are currently in the game for Season 1.5, as this season is coming to an end in about 2 weeks, so, just wanted to give my thoughts. And I am joined today by my brother, Kyle.
Hello.
So, just for reference, he peaked in Eternity this season. I peaked in, I believe, Celestial 2. So, we kind of know what we're talking about a little bit. Little bit.
Just a little.
Now, remember, this is our opinion. If you disagree, let us know down in the comments below. Neither of us have played any, pro tournaments or anything like that. We've just played on, the comp ranking. So, we're not experts, just our opinion. So, are you ready?
I guess I am.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with tanks, which is your specialty here.
Oh yeah, my vanguards.
Where do you want to start with? You want to start worst or best?
Let's start at the bottom.
Okay, I think the worst tank in the game is Captain.
Ooh, I was gonna say Penny.
Oh, absolutely. Penny's a throw pick.
Okay. Yes. Especially the offensive pennies.
Yeah. I will say, I think the problem with Penny is that in the lower ranks, she is quite good. Not in the sense that, she's strong. It's just people are idiots in the low rank. They don't open their eyes. They don't look for the nests or even just the fucking webs on the ground. So, I think she's really good down there, but I'd almost call her a noob trap at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because as you get into the higher ranks, people want to continue to use her, and it's just not really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with the changes that they made. I heard that they were reverting those back, but I don't know if that actually happened yet. I don't play her, so.
Mm-hmm. And she can get a couple picks here and there by special mines just hidden behind the door, but other than that.
Yeah, and at that point, you're just relying on the opponent to be stupid. You're not really doing anything special.
Yeah.
All right, up next, I'm putting Cap in can be good because I think a really good player with him can be really annoying for a backline, but I think on his own, he's not super strong.
Yeah. He's good for getting back to the point, stalling, but he's not doing too much damage.
Yeah, you're never going to see him wipe 5 out of the 6 members, He's just, like you had that one really good game that we played where you were playing Cap and just bounced on point for, a minute and a half while the team was just dying repeatedly. And it's, those scenarios can be good. But, yeah, I think all in all, his shield is just so underwhelming.
Yeah. It's also, can be good because he can destroy Punisher turrets if you just stand in front of them, deflects the bullets back at them. So he's very situational.
Yeah, I think if they increased his shield, it would be a little bit better for him, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, as much as I hate to say it because I love this character, I think Thor is either can be good, arguably he can be put in good, but I think Bucky being as strong as he is right now makes Thor a lot worse.
Yeah, I think Ultimate is just so underwhelming compared to others like Strange that get faded by Cloak and Dagger, or they can just run outside of it, go under a building, and just get away from it.
Yeah, and he can't really move with it, at all, so he just goes up. You can't really go, left, right. You can very little bit, but not enough to, catch, especially, a Luna, who just sprints the fuck out of there, or a Rocket, dashes.
Mm-hmm, and then after you use it, you're, in their backline, get beamed by the damages, and are very vulnerable.
Yep, or you get hooked in by Bucky,
Yep.
And I think that if it did something similar to Namor, where it turned off movement abilities, where Rocket couldn't dash away, it would be a lot stronger. But I also think that might be a little too much for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a good Thor player though can be very annoying. I just think with Mag being as good as he is right now, and other DPSs, it puts Thor down. All right, what's your opinion on Hulk? Because I don't know.
I would say he's good.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. It definitely takes a good player. He's definitely a lot different from other tanks because his shield, his bubble's really good, right? But it's not as spammable as Strange Shield, Mag Shield, something like that.
Yeah, I also think his Exile's really strong. stops a lot of ultimates. He can, and then
Yeah.
he could like exile healer and just beat up the other one.
And what's good about the exile compared to like Mantis's sleep or Luna's freeze is like if you got healed or exiled as my tank, I can't heal you. If you get frozen though, I can still heal you. It doesn't really matter. And I think that's what makes exile so much stronger than the others.
He also has 750 health compared to like Doctor Strange with 600.
Yeah, and then he has the ultimate. Low health, you pop that, now you're at, I don't know how much it is, like 14, 15?
1,500, I think.
And yeah, he just goes insane with that. The team up...
And it can be great for stalling.
Yeah.
Point as well.
The team up definitely took a hit on the Iron Man side. I think the Strange one's still decent, though, isn't it?
The Strange one's still very strong.
So
kills through, like, Invisible Woman, if you get her. Really good.
Yeah, so I think you just need a good player for him, but, I don't think, like, anyone could pick him up, I think in a similar vein, Venom is also good. I don't think I would put him in great, just because there are some rough Venom players out there, too. But, I want to look at this more as the character. He has really good survivability.
Yes, he's great for diving the backline, does a lot of damage if you can hit your headshots with him. Slows enemies, and his E just gives him back so much health when you pop it when you're low.
And the ultimate as well. If you just, both of those gives you so much survivability. And especially with, like, now up in the higher ranks, we'll see, like, Luna power boosting on Venom ult, which makes it so much stronger, and it can KO some things. Nothing from full, unfortunately. And the team up with Spider-Man makes Spider-Man just a nightmare to deal with.
Being a tank player, I don't deal with that much, but hate when my supports just keep dying.
All right, you don't have to call me out.
Anyways.
I think Strange got knocked down a peg from meta, personally.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that he is still a very, very good tank, but with the HP nerf as well as the shield nerf, he's not as oppressive as he once felt.
I also felt personally, it's a lot harder to hit his ultimate with Invisible Woman's pushing you back, and people are just more aware now when you're looking for it.
Yeah, so you have Invisible Woman, you have Cloak Fade, you have, just ultimates in general. So, yeah, no, I can definitely agree. His kit, though, is still good. The portal can still come in very clutch. I think that, some Strange players, don't do it the greatest, but it's still a very good tool to have. All right, now into meta. I think that the three of these are the three best tanks, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But it's which one's the best out of the three?
Magneto.
Magneto
is the best.
I would say Magneto's the best because of how splashable he is. He can go on to almost any like he can solo tank. You can go Magneto Strange. You can go Magneto with any of the diving ones. Like he just fits. As compared to like Thing isn't like splashable like that. You need you kind of need a shield with him.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Mag's shield stops a lot. His bubble is very good at protecting not only himself but your teammates, especially healers like Cloak and Dagger and Invisible Woman, who use their ultimates and get targeted by opposing Magneto because his ultimate is just so powerful at stopping those supports.
Yeah, and then he could hit like a Star-Lord Punisher when they're ulting.
Yeah, especially the Star-Lord one with how strong he is right now. So, yeah, I think that that Mag is super good. But right behind him is Groot. Groot has exploded in popularity lately. Not only because he's a great tank, but his damage output with his walls is insane.
The only downside of that, though, is a Wolverine, Bucky, Punisher who just absolutely...
Yeah, the Punisher can tear through the walls. But I think that one thing that Groot has on Magneto is that Groot forces the enemy to change their composition if they don't have something to deal with the walls. If they're running like Magic Spider-Man for their DPS, they're going to need to swap that up. They can't sustain that because their tanks and their healers just can't get much done because of the Groot walls. And I would say Thing is in still meta, but it's the, not as good as the other two. When this character first came out, I thought that he was going to not be great. I thought that he was just too open without a shield, but I was proven wrong very quickly. I'll let you talk about him more because you play him quite a bit.
His shift's good. He stuns all enemies' movement, stops backline. Getting died by a Panther, he can't dash away anymore. It's also very easy to go up too far with him, so having an E just to jump back to your team and get a damage resist is great. His ultimate, I personally think it's a little underwhelming, but it's good for him. I want to try and get the healers with it, but if the healers are just spread out, it's a little hard, and they can heal through it easily, but still, good ultimate.
Yeah, and if your team's around, they can take advantage of it. It's similar to like a Strange ult, I guess, where it stuns them and you can take advantage.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a different
Except for the
area.
Strange ult gives double damage.
Yeah, I know that much, but it's just like it's still, you can take advantage. It can swing the tide of a fight. All right, we got a lot of DPS, so I figured we will just go through these in order here. So let's start with Black Panther. I think that overall dive, it looked like we were going into a dive meta for a bit there, and then it fell off. I don't know what happened. But as a support, I think BP isn't awful, but I think a good player with him will just destroy your team.
You can really easily jump over your tanks and just dive the backline, get 1 or 2 picks on them, and now you just lose the team fight.
Yeah, definitely. I think what makes him arguably the worst dive character is that he has no range to him, really. So, like, if Namor throws his turrets up high, unless you're climbing that wall to go scratch at him, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, also his ultimate, it can be used really good, but it's difficult to use.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I would say it's a little underwhelming compared to most.
Yes.
When you look at things like a Psylocke or a Star-Lord or a Storm ult, those cover such a big range. But it's like Black Panther, you gotta be right in front of your target, and you can't even just click it, If you just click Black Panther ult, what are you doing? You have to go into that full combo, and it's like if you even miss a little bit of that combo, you might have not done enough damage for your ult to kill.
And a lot of support players don't even use support ults for his ultimate, because they know, like, if he messes this up, it's a waste.
Yeah, he's most likely gonna die. I think in the same vein, Black Widow, I would put in can be good. She just needs more support. Like, you can be a demon with aim, but you're still not one-tapping. And there's nothing you can do to change that. You need either a Storm who's on a damage boost consistently, but the better option is a Mantis. But you're not always going to get those.
She's also really good for when enemies get CC'd, like Slept, Frozen, Stunned by Squirrel Girl, any of those, because those are just free headshots. Also, when I used her at least, her body shots are very underwhelming compared to her headshots. So you need to have really good aim on her.
Is she hit scan?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so. And then what about her ultimate? I think her ultimate is pretty mid.
I think it does like around 150 damage and it slows everybody. So if you have the good aim, it's a lot easier to get the headshots.
That initial damage is the only thing that can really, that could be devastating if it's, late into a team fight, right? Like, the healers aren't at the tip-top health, Like, they're struggling a little bit. You pop that, and it can change the tide, but you can't just go in full HP and be like, all right, let's get someone here.
What's good is if she has a Hawkeye on the team, she can pop her team ability, and her ultimate one-shots everybody in the area.
Yeah. I do like that. Which, speaking of Hawkeye, where do you think he goes? Because I'm kind of torn between good and great.
I would say he's great.
Okay, I can agree with that. He is
I could
very
see how
strong
you could
right
say
now.
good.
It's
I
just
could see how you could say good because bad Hawkeyes who aren't hitting any shots,
well,
they're throwing.
It's that, and you got to hit the headshots. So it's like in a perfect world, Hawkeye, great, But we're not, not everyone has perfect aim where they're going to be hitting every shot.
I also feel it's a little luck based.
Oh, definitely. And we were talking about this the other day because we've been running into a lot of Hawkeyes and they've been tearing us up. And we were saying, what else can you do to nerf this character? Because if you make him so he doesn't one shot to the head, well, then he's just Widow, he just sucks at that point. True. And you could make it so his bow charges, slower like they did the first time. but then it's like, are you even using a bow at that point? So I think
Yeah.
that he's in the best spot that they're going to get him in, and the team just has to play around him, whether it's like Groot or, Shield, like Strange or Mag. Very similarly, Hela, but she is definitely meta right now. She is so strong.
Yes.
So you talk to me about Hela because you are more familiar with like Season 0 and stuff.
She got buffed again this season, but now they made it so like she has barely any fall off range with her headshot. When she's really close to a target, she can 2-tap all squishies in the head. A little farther back, it's a little less, but she 3-taps them in the head, which is just insane because she's also a hit scan character. I think a bad part of her is she only has 8 shots and not much of a kit. Her right click is not the greatest, but her stun's pretty good. Also has a very strong ultimate to use.
Yeah. I will say her stun is actually quite good. I learned last night it stops Thor ult. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, well, sorta. So if you click it as like same time type shit, it'll pull you back to the ground, and it'll
That also does that for like Loki ult. If he's like grabbing it and you hit him with it, it stops the transformation.
yeah, it puts you back to 50, luckily. But there was once or twice last night I was playing with Thor, and I was like, what just happened? Where did my ult go? Definitely see her very often, and I would say some games just come down to who has the better Hela. Up next, we have Iron Fist, and this dude's a throw. I think that when they changed him from a dive character to a tank buster, they murdered him. Anything you want to say about him? Because
I mean,
I just played him for the first time.
I haven't
last
had a
night.
good one in a while. He's really underwhelming, I guess, because like his E ability, if you got healers, I mean, I know when I'm playing Strange, he makes me back up a little bit, but I overall beat him in a 1v1, so.
Yeah, I think changing him to a tank buster was just the worst thing that they could have done because he's just a worse Wolverine, like just in every way, shape, and form. I get that they're supposed to do bit different things. Iron Man had a lot of changes this season to him, and I would say he's good.
Oh, we put him in Candy.
Oh, you think he can be good? Okay.
Because his ultimate, you can usually see it coming from a mile away, but it can sometimes stop the support ults, which could be great for your team. He also is left so vulnerable, which is how good Hela is right now. He's just like a flying sit-and duck up there.
True, yeah. Hela and I would say to a level Hawkeye make a lot of the flying characters difficult to use, and we haven't got to this yet, but Spider-Man is very good at taking out flyers, and he's pretty popular right now.
Yeah, especially with the nerf to the Gamma, I feel like he's a lot less viable.
Yeah, that's fair. But they reduced the Gamma, but didn't they buff it normally too?
No, they buffed his like normal team up without the Gamma,
Oh, okay.
but
Gotcha. All right, what do you think about Magic? Because I feel like Magic's fallen off a little bit. I think
yeah,
she's
I'd put her in good.
good. Yeah.
She just has so much combos that she can one-shot, but it's difficult. Especially if the other healer is healing along with you. She can't do too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's also difficult to take down flyers with her, so it puts her in a tough spot.
Yeah, and like we said, Dive just isn't in the greatest place overall, which isn't, great for her.
She does have a strong ultimate, though, I will say.
Yes, she does. That one, I remember when I first started playing the game, I asked you, I was like, what does Magic's ultimate do? Because I never see it do anything. But now, that shit scares me. Poor Moon Knight. Moon Knight's ult got thrown around so much in this update, and I don't want to do it, but I don't think Moon Knight's good anymore.
Ooh.
I
He would also be a candy. I don't think he's throwing when you have a Moon Knight. I think he could be very situational. Like
yeah,
Loki, for example, you could go Moon Knight, and now his normal primary is bouncing off a lot of things. I also think that up in the higher ranks, at least, people are so much more aware of his angst and whatnot.
yeah, you don't really get
He
away with
becomes
it
so
anymore.
much more difficult.
If we're ordering these, he's the lowest for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't think that I think if there was a tier between these, he'd go there. Like I don't like Moon Knight at all. Like I think that he is just not great. And then it didn't help when I found out that he had one of the lowest like win rates in the game. That just kind of furthered my hatred for him. So Namor. Now, Namor is bouncing between two for me, and the reason that it's bouncing is Namor by himself is great, but Namor with the team up is meta.
I agree. I do see him banned most games. So, him or Luna, and I think with him without Luna, you gotta be really like strict with your timing and stuff.
Yeah, you can't just be throwing the squids whenever you want to. But yeah, so Namor is the best anti-dive character in the game. He's honestly one of the only anti-dive characters because Penny is just so garbage. He's
also a good backline character.
He is. But yeah, without that team up, I think that he is quite a bit worse. Especially now that like players are becoming a lot more. It's same thing with Moon Knight with his onks, where people are shooting them more squids.
Yeah.
They see them. You have a Punisher on the enemy team. They're taking those things down instantly. And so, like, the Namor has to be very cautious. It's like, oh, do I place them high because they have, like, a Squirrel Girl, right, where Squirrel Girl is going to destroy them if you throw them on the ground? Or, do they have something like a Punisher where I want to put them behind my tanks? And, there's a lot of thinking that goes into Namor. And, yeah, I think just by himself, I'm going to leave him in great. I think he fits there.
I agree.
Psylocke. I think people sleep on Psylocke. We were talking about this the other day. Psylocke kind of fell off a little bit. And so now, when you see a good Psylocke, she can fuck you up. So I want to put her in great. Because you said it yourself. You didn't know what to swap to deal with her.
I would probably go like Loki, but I think Loki was also banned that game.
I believe he was.
But Psylocke Ultimate, it's also really strong. If you just get like forts in it, boom, boom, couple slices, they're dead.
She's got some of the best range for a dive character to deal with like Namor squids, or God forbid you see a Penny, you can deal with her spider nest without having to get close enough to take massive damage from them.
I also think if you get your headshots from really close, her time to kill is very, very fast.
Yeah, especially if you combo it with the right click. All right, Scarlet Witch. She got buffed with her ultimate, gaining overshield, but it wasn't enough. I'm kind of like here, but also here.
Yeah, I'm between them both as well.
I want to put her in can be good because she has a little bit of anti-dive. Like,
yeah.
She can be picked for that reason. Because, so, her right click never misses, right? So, if you're going against, like, a BP or something, you're going to be consistently hitting them. And her E also just completely stops their movement for, like, I think it's like half a second or so. Which can be really good, again, for something like a Black Panther that is dashing around very quickly. She can also fly up and be annoying for, certain characters to hit.
Also, for, like, her ultimate, you rarely see people get a kill with that. People are so aware that she's using.
Yeah.
The only time people get kills with it is, like, through a strange portal. Or like in an Invisible Woman ult, but those are so situational.
Yeah, I would say the Strange one's the best way to do it, but Strange doesn't portal, enough to make that.
Yeah, that cooldown's way too long.
Yeah. All right, I hate to do this. I hate to do this, but I think he's like here
with that Venom team up. Boom.
It arguably meta a little bit, but yeah, Spider-Man is so strong right now. But I'm not one of the people that thinks he needs a nerf either. I think he's in a decent spot, all things considered.
Yeah, I feel like his ultimate's balanced. If you have a tank with you, he holds up that shield. Nothing's getting through.
Yeah.
But if he you have 3 supports clumped together, he goes. They're gone.
Yeah, and if you have like a thing, he can't like web thing off the map, which is something we didn't talk about earlier with him, is that he can't be moved. But
yeah,
I think that's where Spider-Man's the strongest, is his like webbing people off the map. And you do need very good mechanical skill to make this character work. You got to have that movement. If you're not moving around like crazy, you're gonna get killed very quickly. And even then, I've seen Hela be able to pick a swinging Spider-Man out of the air very easily.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to be able to move with this character. You stand still for too long, you're done. What are your thoughts on Squirrel Girl?
I would say she's good.
I think that
she is able to...
Her ability to break Groot walls, I feel like that's what you were going to say, is very strong, especially with how good Groot is currently. Her ability to trap in characters with her right click is super strong, especially since she can do that twice, and she just does so much damage. She traps you in, and if it's a squishy character, she hits you twice, 3 times, you're gone.
She charges her ultimate so fast, and with the buff it got this past season, It's pretty scary unless they have like a Punisher who can break it very quickly.
I would say in the higher
Um,
ranks, it's a lot worse now because everyone realizes, at least now, hey, we need to fucking destroy that shit.
Yeah,
Versus before, and in the low, I think even now in the lower ranks, people are just like, whatever.
yeah,
Plus, there's certain maps, like a lot of domination maps, it's just not really great. You know, there's certain maps like the one Wakanda map where there's like the waterfall. That thing just goes right off the map half the time.
yeah. But like in a little like valley, not valley,
Like a
tunnel.
corridor.
Yeah, send that in, boom, 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 boom. Get kills.
Yeah. She's very easy to use for sure.
Very.
This guy got so good, it felt like out of nowhere. Star-Lord,
Yeah.
I just started seeing him in all my games. His ultimate is what makes him so strong. Just an aimbot that melts everything.
A flying aimbot.
Yes. And especially when you like put his right click with that and he can reload instantly. Twice.
Too. Yep.
It's very good to use late game to clean up fights. You never want to use it like early, I wouldn't say. And if you pair him with a Magneto, what the strategy currently is Magneto will bubble him as Star-Lord will literally just jump into the enemy's team, click his E, and just gain like 10, 15, 20 ult charge. And so it's like, as a support, I've had to, in almost all the games where I see Star-Lord, it's like, oh, I'm saving my ult this game. You know, because otherwise we're getting team wiped.
I agree.
And then to make it even worse, in triple res comps, he's even better. You know,
'Cause when he clicks his E and goes in, it's dangerous for him. If everyone looks, shoots, he can die. But then he can just cocoon right next to you, and he's back doing it again.
yeah. And then, you know, Adam Warlock uses his ultimate. Oh, now he's back a third time.
Gets revived by Rocket Raccoon. Star-Lord.
Yeah, so he's just so strong right now, and I definitely think come season 2 we're gonna see his ultimate take a little bit longer to charge. Storm's a weird one because I want to put her in great, but I think that the reason she's bad right now is because of things like Hela and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put her at the top of good.
Yeah. She charges her ult so fast, does so much damage. She buffs everyone's damage or speed around you. And she's a good hero. But if you get caught up way too high in the air, Hela, boom, boom, you're dead.
Yeah. I think that she's very strong. It's just the circumstances around her and like everything around her is what is holding her back. You know, it's not like in season 0 where she just generally sucked, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like all of these other characters make her life, even Star-Lord to an extent, you know, can make her life a little bit difficult. And I mean, we haven't even talked about, you know, Punisher and Bucky yet, which are, you know, 2 more characters that are quite good right now. So yeah, I think that, you know, once we see some of these higher characters get nerfed, we might see Storm become better again. But
I also think with she has a good ult, but once that ult ends, you're kind of stuck in there. You know, you got to fight your way out.
yeah, you have to time it right if you want to get out, you know, but then you're losing out on some of that damage. So it's like, you got to really decide. All right. I think Punisher's great.
Yep.
I would put him like here, where above, below Psylocke. What do you think?
I'd say she's above Psylocke. He can do many things for a team. Like, he can shoot squids fast, break root walls fast, shoot the penny bot. You know, he can do a lot. Break Strange Shield. Has a turret that has exploding bullets. Just shoot a corner, and when they're trying to walk past,
Yeah.
he can just do so much.
I will say, though, his ultimate is a bit underwhelming most of the time. There are situations where it can be good. If you're getting pocketed by a healer, you're going to do some good damage. You know, if you have a rocket amplifier, you can break through a Luna ult.
Yep.
So I do think he's very strong, but I think he's just a worse Bucky.
Yeah.
Because this guy is so good. Winter Soldier is, I can't even describe how good of a DPS he is right now.
Where do I start? His right click, his hook, being able to pull tanks in for DPS or support. Have everyone on the team look at him, hook him in, punch him backline.
And he can hook multiple at a time if they're close enough.
And then say he gets infinite ammo. We forgot to talk about that with Punisher. Oh, lights out.
Yeah, for both of them, it's so strong. And on top of that, Bucky gets 50 shield every time he uses one of his abilities.
That also includes his ultimate, which if he's going on a little streak there, you're probably not going to kill him.
And not only does he get 50 shield from all of his abilities plus his ultimate, his gun also reloads. So what you'll see most people do is 3 shots, uses his E. 3 shots, hook. You know, if he misses the hook, 3 shots. The punch is either used, what I've seen mostly, is either for movement, for him to, like, get out, or if he hooks someone in to push them farther back into his team.
Also, with his E ability, it knocks down and slows enemies. So, like, say you got a Storm, you hit her with that E, now she's on the ground.
Oh, I did not know that.
To, like, hook in.
So, yeah, I'm shocked Bucky has not gotten nerfed yet. One of the strongest DPS in the game, and I think one of the simplest nerfs for him, make it so his ult doesn't recharge upon hitting a Loki clone.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the simplest things you can do to nerf this character. One more meta tier character, and arguably, I won't say it's the best, but I do think he's better than Bucky, is Wolverine. This dude makes Tank's life a nightmare.
I think he's similar to Groot. He makes the enemy's team switch comps. Like, if you got a Groot Strange, you might go Thing Magneto or just Thing, because he's that brutal to the tanks.
Yeah, and Thing and Mag are the only two that I would say truly counter him. And even then, I would say, even though Thing can't be moved, Thing can still be melted pretty quickly by Wolverine. Mag, though, has a little bit better of a matchup. His shield does not help him whatsoever because melee characters break through it, but his bubble absorbs damage and also makes it so that he can't be picked up. Or, you know, if you're running like Mag Strange, Magneto can bubble the Strange and make it so that he can't be, you know, moved and grabbed.
Also with Magneto's rake, like, he can push him back. His ultimate can just melt 5 people in like half of a second.
He is the most common ban currently, for good reason. Mr. Fantastic's a throw pick. I don't care what you say.
There's not much you can do for him. His ultimate, underwhelming. His damage, underwhelming. His attack speed, underwhelming.
The only thing I would say...
survivability.
Yeah, he has good survivability, and he's just annoying.
Yeah.
But I hate those players that it's like, oh, we have 1 tank, 2 DPS. Let me go Mr. Fantastic. Like, homie, no. He's not a tank, man. He's not. So, yeah, and I don't know much about the changes they did to him this season, but I know that they didn't really help him at all. I know it wasn't like a devastating thing, but it wasn't great either. And our final DPS is Johnny Storm, who, upon release, would have been a throw pick. But I think with the changes they recently made, I'm going to put him in can be good. And at the bottom of can be good. Because what's holding him back is not him, it's the meta. Because, yes, he's been changed, but with Hela, Hawkeye, Namor, even like Storm being good, I think everyone is just too scared to even give him a try.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
gave him a try for like the first time yesterday, and his attack speed, so it moves very slow, but being able to create a boundary on the enemy team side where they can't go in, he's good for like creating space.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to get the most value out of him. It's just, you can literally make the enemy team either just have to wait to go where they want to go or take a route that you want them to take. But I definitely think that come Season 2, we're going to see him pick up a little bit more because we're going to see some of these other strong characters maybe not be, you know, as overwhelming as they currently are. All right, going into the supports.
Your specialty.
Yes, this is my bread and butter right here. So I'm gonna start with one. Jeff's a throw pick. I don't even have to think about that one.
Okay.
Jeff as a healer is just awful, in my opinion. I think his heal rate is super slow. The bubbles are somewhat nice for burst damage, but I think you just, like with his regular left click heals, you have to reload them way too often. DPS Jeff, though, little bit different. I'll let you talk about that one because I haven't really played that much.
It's really good for distracting the enemy team. Just being able to, like, maybe sit 50 feet away, just shooting them. And the supports can't, like, kill you. Especially because you can heal yourself so much. So it makes the DPS turn around. Maybe a tank turns around. And you create space with that. And then you might get a pick on a support. And then, like, it's very hard to die at DPS Jeff. It's your bubble. And your underwater healing. So in that, I would say he can be good.
Okay, you know what? Fine. You changed my mind. I'll admit you changed my mind with that, with the DPS a little bit. But I think fully as a support, if you're not playing DPS Jeff, you're down here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could probably agree with me there. You know,
Yeah.
his heals are atrocious. I think Mantis is good. I don't. I don't think she's great. I don't.
I would say can be good.
Really.
Yeah, her heals are not it. The only time I see her use is with the triple res comp right now,
Or with a Widow.
or with the Widow. That's about it.
Yeah.
If her heals just did more and her ultimate lasted a little longer, I would say she could be great even.
Yeah,
But-
she was really good in Season 0, but they really nerfed her quite a bit with, like, her speed reduction and stuff like that, too.
Mhm. Yeah.
See, I thought you were going to be like, oh, she's better, but...
No.
All right. I don't know where to go next here. Let's go Cloak and Dagger. Let's look at my
Okay. Your 100+ hours right
my
here.
100+ hours. I think right now, Cloak and Dagger is just good.
Okay.
I think that the change to their healing, where their base heals do more, but the AoE does less, was a great change for Cloak and Dagger. I also think increasing the speed of their ultimate was better, but decreasing the length hurt quite a lot, as well as not being able to stack them. I think that was a devastating blow. That was the kind of the one thing that set Cloak apart a little bit, honestly, was being able to stack and just have that, like, insane healing output. It was like 880 a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just they just took her out back with that change. But the Magneto is what makes it the worst. I think if Magneto wasn't bombing Cloak and Dagger, she would be great. But just the consistency that he can say, oh, your ultimate doesn't exist anymore, is just so bad.
I also notice when I'm a tank player, and like say I'm getting shredded as a Strange because my shield broke by a Punisher, and you got a Cloak and Dagger behind me, it's not gonna keep up with that.
Yeah, unless
you use all abilities.
Yeah, which is usually what I have to do. I have to hit you with a wall, I have to bubble you, and pump to keep you alive. Like, yeah, the healing is a bit slower, but it got better with that change that I mentioned, where they, like, just overall increased the healing, you know? Rocket Raccoon,
Oh, great. This guy.
I think, and this is solely because of his team up, he's meta. I think that if he didn't have his team up, he would be in good. But the infinite ammo is just fucking crazy. It just it allows Punisher and Bucky to be unstoppable. You know, no tank can push up through that. Most games, we have to sit there and say, all right, we have to wait this out now.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure it's only like infinite ammo's like 8 seconds, something like that. So it's not too long.
But it feels forever when your team doesn't move out of the way.
Yeah, also with Rocket, his revives. You know, if I die, I'll blame the Rocket. But then I get revived. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rocket.
He works the best on triple. And I would say out of the meta healers, he's probably the worst one.
Yeah.
Adam Warlock, I would say, is great right now.
Okay.
I don't want to put him in the top, and I'm only putting him in great, I think, because of Star-Lord and the triple res meta.
I just think his ultimate's hard to use. A lot of Adams waste their soul bond too much.
Yeah, soul bond is a
like,
mini
he
ultimate.
could stop so much ultimates with that, and then people are popping it because their tank got low. I feel like you just can't do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it doesn't come down to Adam being bad. I think it's the players who use Adam not using him effectively, because his damage output is almost equal to Hela. It's a little less, but especially if you use his right click, you can one tap something if you hit all your shots with it. But if you're using him on a double healing comp, you're gonna lose every time because his healing is just not quite enough. I think Loki is meta. Loki is so good right now. His ability to take any ultimate in the game is so unique and makes him so good. Not only that either, but his shift is one of the best healing.
I would say it's the best ability in the whole game.
It can stop quite a bit. It can stop Psylocke ult. It can stop Star-Lord ult. Clone placement is very good. He can teleport to his clones, giving him very good survivability, especially since he can also go invisible. Anything else you want to add? Because I know you play him a lot more.
I know he stops Namor ult as well. It's actually crazy. You place his shift, you get hit by the whale, it breaks your lamps and everything, but you don't lose any HP.
Okay.
Really unique. But yeah, I think being able to get 2 clones up and then your right click, which makes you go invisible, it gives another clone. It's really good. Because when you have 3 clones, or 2 clones in yourself, that's some of the best healing you're gonna get if they don't break the clones.
The only downside right now to Loki is Bucky's ultimate, which we kind of, talked about earlier. If it didn't reset upon breaking a Loki clone, would be fantastic. But to all Loki mains, quit placing down clones when you hear again. Please, for the love of God, you are just making him stronger. Luna Snow, meta.
Yep.
I don't ever see this character not being meta, honestly. Her ultimate being 12 seconds of either a heal boost or a damage boost is crazy. I do like that they made it so you can't spam it anymore. I think that was a little too powerful. But her team up with Namor, as we said, super strong. She has the ability to freeze characters, especially if she's getting dove, which is very helpful. And her shift is very good for piercing through your teammates, but also enemies, healing and doing damage.
Yeah, her team helps a backline Jeff, too.
True.
Being able to slow and stuff. But being able for her damage boost, a Namor ult, any ult.
Venom, yeah. Yeah, it makes it very strong.
I would assume. And then just being able to switch to heals the next second, really strong.
All right, final character, Inviswoman. And I don't know if she's better than Luna right now. A lot of people say she is, but I don't think she is personally.
I'd say she's easier to use, but her ultimate's like 6 seconds. Luna's is like 12.
So Invis...
I take that Luna ult behind me.
Invis has a lot going for her. Her normal left click does do piercing, but it has range, right? Like not good range, right? Limited range. So you can heal multiple teammates at once, but you can't really help with like dive characters too much. I think third best ability in the game with her pull push, coming behind Loki and Adam Soulbond. Being able to either pull enemies in or whether it's like a wolf, or you're pulling things in like a tank, or if you're pushing a Wolverine off of one of your tanks, it is super valuable.
Yeah, also, you're getting dove by a BP, and he goes to dash your team, and you push him at the exact moment. It wastes his dash, and now he has, no movement left to get away.
Yep, and there's certain maps where she'll just push people off the map entirely as well.
Yep, I lost a couple games because my teammates get pushed off the map by her.
Her shift's a little underwhelming. I don't think it's anything too special. And then her ultimate can be good. As we said before, it is half the time that Luna's is, but anyone outside of it cannot see you, which can be really good for Invis. You pull someone into the ultimate, now their healers can't see them, and you're not gonna die.
I also think it's one of the best things for countering like Punisher ult, because he can sometimes kill people through a support ult, but if he can't see what he's shooting at, then
if it's Punisher plus Loki, or Punisher plus Rocket, like we said earlier, he can tear through it, but if he's not inside the Invis ult, good luck.
Yeah.
And then, surprised we missed this one, but her double jump and overall ability to go invisible is super valuable. It makes her have some of the best survivability out of all healers. So, yeah, that is our tier list. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
So let us know down in the comments if you agree, disagree, and remember, this is just our opinion. That is all I've got. If you enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. Check out our Discord linked down below. And see you guys later.